Zhang Yi coldly dismisses Chen Jingwan's desperate pleas for protection after his humiliating defeat at the hands of Sun Jianming, making it clear that insubordination carries a price. While Chen Jingwan trembles in fear, Zhou Ke steps in to treat his severe internal injuries with her doctor ability, stabilizing him but warning him never to fight again. Sun Jianming, sensing Zhang Yi's gaze, responds with a chilling throat-slitting gesture, signaling open hostility from Dae's city. The tension in the guild hall is broken only by the arrival of Zhu Zhang at 2:30 p.m., accompanied by Tu Yunlai and Deng Shintong, whose combined auras silence the 1,000-strong assembly of supernatural representatives from 12 outer cities. Zhu Zhang wastes no time on pleasantries, announcing the formation of the Jiangnan Superpower Alliance with himself as president. He declares that all major forces in the 12 cities must join, operate in their territories, but obey any mission assigned by the region without exception. When murmurs of protest rise accusing the region of placing a leash on them without providing support, Zhu Zhang counters with the promise of rewards, mission points exchangeable for the region's advanced medicines, weapons, and supplies. Zhang Yi's interest sharpens at the implications, recognizing the value of origin bullets, adamantium weaponry, black robe training suits, and synthesized enhancement compounds, resources far beyond Tianhai City's current reach. The alliance is no longer a proposal, it is a mandate backed by the full weight of the Jiangnan region's military authority. Zhu Zhang stood on the platform and delivered the third pillar of his decree: internal conflict was forbidden, and territorial disputes would be settled by federation arbitration. The words struck a chord with the war-weary, and even Zhou Ke glanced at Zhang Yi with hopeful relief. Zhang Yi only curled his lip, dismissing the idealism as naive. Human greed, he knew, would never yield to mere declarations. As if on cue, Gu Hongdai, the coquettish leader of Dae's city, challenged the premise, her gaze drifting pointedly toward Chen Jingwan and Zhang Yi's delegation, implying that weaker forces holding strategic resources were fair game. Zhu Zhang brushed it aside, claiming survival supplies were ample, though the unspoken truth hung heavy: the real prizes were factories, armaments, and population. A white-shrouded Delta-level superhuman from Sichuan City rose, voice-cold, accusing the region of turning them into puppets. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. Then, a whisper of displaced air. 3 hair-thin steel wires flashed from the sleeve of Sun Lushuan, the silent guard behind Zhu Zhang. 30 meters. 1 heartbeat. The challenger's head flew from his shoulders, blood misting the nearest tables. The body stood a moment longer before collapsing. The hall froze. Zhang Yi's eyes narrowed. Sun Lushuan's speed and precision rivaled or exceeded Bian Zhenhua's. Doors slammed open. Bailey Changqing marched in at the head of the Black Robe Investigation Squad and a phalanx of Yanyan guards. Deng Shintong twisted his wrist, a mocking, lethal smile on his face. The pressure was suffocating. Zhang Yi tensed, ready to flee if the purge began. But Zhu Zhang's voice cut through the tension, flat and final: this was not a negotiation. It was an ultimatum. Join the Superpower Alliance, or be declared enemies of the Jiangnan region, and enemies had no right to exist on this land. Zhang Yi smiled faintly. He had known the shape of this moment all along, he only marveled at how many fools still tried to reason with a behemoth. Everything unfolded exactly as Zhang Yi had anticipated. After his earlier discussions with Bailey Changqing, he understood the Jiangnan region's calculations and, if he were in Zhu Zhang's position, he would have adopted the same strategy, for allowing the regions to tear each other apart would shatter the entire Jiangnan region before any external invasion. While being controlled was uncomfortable, the Jiangnan region was undeniably powerful, and Zhang Yi was willing to give them face so long as they did not order him to his death, a line that would free him from any obligation. After the intimidating execution of the dissenter, Zhu Zhang scanned the silent crowd and directly demanded who agreed and who opposed. When everyone remained mute, he coldly declared their silence as consent and ordered the membership applications distributed. Lan Xinqing gestured to the Yanyan guards, who filed down the aisles handing forms to every faction leader, signifying formal subordination to the Jiangnan region's command. Zhang Yi quickly scanned his copy, found no hidden conditions, and signed without hesitation, reasoning that a mere piece of paper would never bind him if he were ever sent to die. Others signed with resentment or resignation, and Zhu Zhang, satisfied with the thick stack, smiled and promised monthly supplies of specially made weapons and equipment plus mission rewards. Zhu Zhang then produced a small glass bottle from his jacket, introducing compound number 2, a substance that could help people awaken their supernatural abilities, tap their potential, and make powers stronger, and he declared it part of the mission reward list. The crowd's eyes burned with greed, for until now the only method of enhancement was absorbing the essence of killed superhumans, a difficult method with diminishing returns at higher levels. Zhang Yi, however, frowned, recalling fragments of information from Bailey Changqing. This compound was the secret behind the Jiangnan region's military might and the source of Bian Zhenhua's power and the side effects of his mutations. Granting immense strength in a short time came with enormous risks, a trade Zhang Yi refused to make. Nevertheless, most others were deeply attracted, and mutters of excitement rippled through the hall. Xu Zhang then delivered the true opportunity. A group of 13 Japanese Ronin had appeared in Linhai City, wiped out its local forces, and occupied the entire city. Whoever eliminated these Ronin would receive 10 portions of Compound Number 2 and full control of Linhai City, with their rule recognized by the Jiangnan region. A wave of patriotic fury swept the hall, with Uncle Yu gritting his teeth and cursing the invaders. Many were tempted by the rewards and the prospect of becoming absolute rulers of a city, while others recognized the enormous risk, given that this Ronin organization had annihilated every supernatural force in Linhai City. Zhang Yi narrowed his eyes, acknowledging that the Japanese Ronin truly dared to invade Chinese soil. Xu Zhang read the varied expressions below and revealed the Ronin's origins. They came from northern Japan, a notorious Yakuza organization called the Erosion Moon that had dominated the Kanto region before crossing the sea to mainland China. Japanese higher-ups had officially declared the group's actions private matters, unrelated to their government, so the hunt was fully sanctioned. A strange figure completely covered except for his eyes, a retired veteran whom Zhang Yi had noticed on the subway platform for his military bearing and who now led a faction, raised the concern that Japanese assurances were unreliable, asking what would happen if reinforcements followed the Ronin. Xu Zhang sneered with disdain, declaring that the Japanese officials' disavowal was exactly what made the hunt so safe, and if the Ronin were ever proven connected to the Japanese high command, China would gain full justification to retaliate with every means available, leaving even their allies without a word to say. This bellicose stance greatly boosted the confidence of the assembled superhumans, and the veteran nodded silently. The reason for mobilizing all 12 cities became clear. This was to be a siege, an encirclement many times larger than the enemy, just as the Ming dynasty once deployed hundreds of thousands of troops to suppress thousands of Japanese pirates. Uncle Yu, driven by patriotism as a retired veteran, urged Zhang Yi to participate. But Zhang Yi, chin resting on his hand, tilted his head and observed the frenzy with cold calculation. The Ronin had to be eliminated, yet he wondered why Xu Zhang did not dispatch the Black Robe Squad, the Celestial Squad, or the 5,000 Yun Guards. The likely answer was that Xu Zhang refused to risk his own elite forces and instead intended to use the outer city forces as disposable pawns to probe the enemy's strength, reserving Blizzard City's elite for later. Zhang Yi calmly told Uncle Yu to wait and observe, since he would consult Bailey Changqing for specific intelligence first. When Xu Zhang announced that participating organizations could collect weapons and equipment from headquarters, Zhang Yi recognized this as a method to count the exact number of committed troops, with forced assignments likely if volunteers were insufficient. 5 forces immediately stepped forward, and Zhang Yi raised an eyebrow, choosing not to take the lead. If these forces succeeded in wiping out the Ronin, so much the better, and if they failed, he would gain valuable intelligence to secure victory when he finally mobilized. A malicious glint flashed in his eyes as he contemplated how strong a team of 13 must be to annihilate all of Linhai City's supernatural forces, perhaps comparable to Blizzard City's investigation teams, and how many of the eager volunteers would die. The meeting dissolved in impassioned voices, and Zhang Yi quietly led his men away. Later, in the operations center, Lan Xinqing reported that 10 forces ultimately signed up for the Linhai City encirclement. Xu Zhang nodded but frowned at the absence of any Tianhai City leader, especially Zhang Yi, given how close Tianhai City was to Linhai City. He increasingly felt that Bailey Changqing was right. Zhang Yi was too cunning and difficult to control,